Hello, today I'm going to be talking about an autofill water chamber. This is also called an auto feed water chamber. It's called a couple different things, but in essence, it is a smaller water chamber than the regular water chamber you have here, but it has this line that connects up to a water bottle. So this is going to automatically fill this water chamber. The water chamber will only be filled between, if you can see that, it says minimum is this very, very bottom line, and the maximum amount of water it has is this top line. That's where the water level is going to stay. And how this fills is there's a gadget in here that modulates or that regulates the amount of water in here. And when it notices it gets low, it will, via gravity, will get more water from this water bottle, and it'll continually fill this. So you only have a small amount of water in here. You might think, well, isn't having more water in a water chamber better? Actually, no. Having a smaller amount of water in here is wonderful. Why? Because this does not get cold very easily. This, when you fill it up, I just filled this water chamber up because I needed more water. It was empty. So whenever you fill this up, this water in here is cold, and as it comes into my airways, this is very cold at the moment. The water's cold. It has not heated up this water chamber. It is very cold and miserable. And as soon as I turn this water chamber off for whatever reason, maybe I need to go to the bathroom, maybe I just need to go someplace and I don't have access to electricity. But when you plug this back in, this water in this water chamber is so amazingly cold. Now with this water chamber, there's only ever a small amount of water in here. So this stays warm all the time. You can disconnect from your water chamber and then come back onto the water chamber, turn the humidifier back on, and it only has a tiny little bit amount of water to heat up. So within about 30 seconds to a minute, this water is heated up, versus this takes about 10 to 15 minutes to heat a whole water chamber. I absolutely love this auto feed water chamber system because this water is so much more than this water. If you can see, there's quite a bit of more water in here. This water chamber only lasts about 6 to 8 hours. So sometimes if I forget to fill it all the way up at night, it'll run dry before the morning. Very annoying because the cold or the dry air that's going into my lungs will wake me up in the morning. I'm just like, oh, my lungs, it hurts. And then I look and it's empty. Versus this water chamber, I only fill this water bottle up about every 20 to 24 hours. So usually I can go almost a full day without filling this back up. So unless you're really absent-minded, I just fill this up in the evening, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. And this easily goes through the night into the next day. And then I just make sure I have water, again, filled up in it before I go to bed in the evening. And it just continually refills this water chamber, and I never run out of water. Oh, it is so wonderful. So let me show you. This is a little bit fancier and has more bells and whistles than just this regular old water chamber, which you just, it's ready to go. So first of all, it's going to come in this little packaging. Look, it's all wound up. So I'm just going to open this up. So inside, this is all kind of wound up. You're going to have to make sure you get this spike guy off, and it's going to have to disconnect from this top. So you just lift up and unwind this guy. This is garbage. So now you have your water chamber. As you can see, it's nice, new, and shiny. Oh, look at that. And it has a spike. So one thing you're going to need with this is you're going to need a water bottle that can spike. So your water bottle is going to need this stopper. It's going to need a hole in the middle, and it's going to have this red stopper, which you're going to have to puncture with that spike. There are these water bottles that don't have this, so it's like this. They look the same, but they're different. And when you're trying to purchase these, it'll actually have this seal on the top, and it'll be like that. And you can kind of actually see through the seal that there is that ability to puncture it. And you're going to want this because if you buy this, You can't puncture the water bottle, and there's no way you can tip this upside down and have it run into the water chamber, because you need to puncture. See, it's a puncture, it's a spike. You need to be able to do that, and you can't with this one, but you can with this one. So you may have to make sure you have this. These water bottles are kind of expensive to get one full with water, and to change this every day, they're kind of expensive. I think these water bottles are about $10 a piece. I think I can get them online, which if you're buying this all out of pocket, $10 a day is horribly expensive. If you do that for 30 days, $300 a month for these water bottles, way out of my budget. So what I do is I actually just use one water bottle, and I just keep refilling it. So I just take regular old, here we go, distilled water, take off the cap, put water in here, and I just keep refilling this bottle because it's just a water bottle. I don't understand. It's not going to really get dirty. I don't know. I mean, not unless you're like, don't do that. No, don't be licking your water bottles, or don't be taking a swig of water. No, you'll get this dirty. Keep this clean, and if you want to, you can actually, you can take off the spike that's going to be in here, and you can put this in hot soapy water and clean it if you want to. And then you just keep reusing it. The other thing is you're going to want to make sure it has the ability to hang. Oh. Some of these are a little bit different. Like this one, if you can see that, it just has this little thing, versus this one can actually spike up like that. You're going to need that because you're going to need a height difference with this. The water in this water chamber needs to come from this water bottle, and they need to have a height difference. It's just like using an IV. If you have an IV, you cannot have the bag of IV fluids at the same level because you need gravity to infuse it, and so you need a height difference. The greater the height difference, the better this water chamber will work. If you only have a really small height difference, this will either not work or it will not work really well. You're going to need a really large height difference, and I try to always put the height difference as long as this line is. I try to put that height difference or something very similar to that. So to do the height difference, you're going to possibly need either an IV pole, or I actually put this on my ventilator. Let me show you. First of all, I use this little gadget here. It is for actually just regular water bottles. You put the water bottle, here we go. You put a water bottle through the top here, and then you hang this on your belt, and you have a nice little water bottle. Oh, isn't that lovely? But I don't use it for that. Instead, I take this, I loop this around the my ventilator, and then I plug it like this, and then from this hook, I will put the water bottle on, and then it can hang off my ventilator. So let me show you how I do that. Now that you have a height difference established, either you're using an IV pole or you're going to be hanging it off your ventilator or some other place that's higher than this heated humidifier, let me show you how you set up your autofill water chamber. So we have it out of the package, and you're going to unwind this. There is going to be this little, I don't know what you call it, air thingy-majigger. It allows air to go into the line. We're going to make sure it's open. This allows this to not get backed up. Then you have this, this spike like that. But before I do that, let me show you. You're going to want to spike the water bottle. So normally it's going to have this foil on top, and you're going to peel off the foil. Since I am very limited on the number of these water bottles because I have to get them either from the hospital or pay for them out of pocket, I do not use a new one every time. I'm just going to use this old one that I have because my current autofill water chamber has stopped working. It does happen. This one is about 6 or 8 months old and it just no longer is working. So I have pulled out the old spike from this one, and now I'm going to put the new spike in from this one. So in order to do this, you're just going to twist off the top like this, and here it is. A little bit of water on there, and then the inside is just like that. So what are we going to do? We're going to stick this spike right here. I'm going to stick this through here. And it's a little bit complex because you have to make sure you kind of press down on this interior red part, because if you don't, it's just it's gonna separate. So you're gonna push it through, but then you're also going to push down and you're just gonna twist. And you have to make sure you see these air holes right there. You have to make sure that is through this rubber stopper. If you don't get it through the rubber stopper, it'll just be sucking on that rubber stopper and not getting any water. You don't have to push this real far, but that is about how far I push it through. Make sure you can see that and everything's good. Now you're going to twist this on. I'm going to push down and twist it on. And you're just going to twist it on until it doesn't twist anymore. Like that. Voila! Now this water chamber at the moment is empty, but as soon as you flip this over, it's going to automatically fill up. So you can see it's starting to get water in there. And it's just going to continue to fill up until it's all the way full. All right, it looks like we are pretty much full here. The maximum is going to be this line up here, and the minimum amount of water is this tiny little amount of water right down here, this little line. And this yellow piece of plastic will float on top of the water. So it is pretty easy to see that we have enough water in here to start using it. Now you're just going to change out, if you're using this water chamber, you're just going to change it out. Or if you're not using any water chamber, you're just going to put this on. Don't worry, this water bottle is going to be up higher right now. I don't want to get up and try to hook it up and do all that because I'm pretty lazy right now. All right, so the easiest way to change out these water chambers is to take this one off and then put this one on. So let me show you how you do that. You're just gonna quickly take this off. I'm gonna push down, slide off. I'm gonna push down, slide on. I'm gonna put this one on. That chamber on, voila. And then, of course, you're going to have this higher, and it is going to automatically fill up this water chamber. And that's pretty much it. It is super simple, super easy. And just make sure you keep an eye on this water. This bottle was completely full when I started. So this amount of water took out that much water, which isn't a whole lot, but it's enough. And it'll just continue to drain the water. So just keep an eye on this. And again, for me, it's about every 20 to 24 hours, I need to fill this up. I just look at it and take off the top. Just take off the top and then pour in water from this water jug, because this is distilled water. Pour in water to this water jug, fill up this all the way, and then again, just push down, turn, and put it back up. Pretty simple, pretty easy. And I absolutely love this water chamber. Oh, it is so amazing. And I'm so grateful and thankful. If you want to know a fun story, I accidentally got this water chamber. I got my ventilator and tracheostomy tube in May of 2017. I went to a hospital in August of 2017, and I was using this water chamber, and I was so frustrated because it kept running out, and then the water was so cold after I filled this up. The water would be so cold, and I'd just be like, oh, it's so cold. I want a better system. Well, a miracle happened. I was using this water chamber on top of here, and I was in the hospital, and a nurse came in and she was trying to do something, and we didn't have this stand. This heat humidifier was just on a window ledge with my ventilator, and the nurse came in and wasn't really aware of how precariously this was all situated, and she happened to just bump it, and my heat humidifier crashed to the ground, and I was like, oh no, I need a humidifier. Well, thankfully, the heat humidifier was fine, but the water chamber cracked. So I didn't know this. I didn't know the water chamber cracked. So they put this back up, and they put it back up in the windowsill and had this water chamber. And I'm like, I'm not getting any breath. This is really weird. Like, it feels like I'm just getting a small little breath. And finally, I looked, and there was a huge crack on the water chamber. And I was like, oh, no, this is terrible. So thankfully, the respiratory therapist looked and said, oh, we don't have any of these water chambers. But he came back with this auto feed water chamber connected with his water bottle. And he's like, well, this will fit on here, and you can just use this while you're in the hospital and just take it home or whatever. And you can go back to this regular water chamber once you get home. Wow, I love this system. I was like, where have you been all my life? I mean, I'd only been on the ventilator for a couple months, but anyways, I was like, I love you. And so I was able to get some of these water chambers from my medical equipment company, but apparently either they stopped carrying them or the ones I got were from the donations. I don't know what happened, but then I wanted to get some more, and they're like, oh, we don't carry them anymore. So now I have to purchase these out of pocket. I have to basically go to like eBay or thankfully, some people on YouTube have sent me some because these are hard for me to get. They're more expensive, and they're just really hard to find sometimes if you're not. I mean, I don't have the privilege to order it from a wholesaler or from ordering from a medical equipment company. I have to just try to find it on my own. And wholesalers and all that do not like to send it to regular people because they're like, oh, you need to be a company. So maybe I should start my own respiratory company, and then I can get my water chambers. But in the meantime, I'm just buying these when I can. And of course, these water bottles are like, oh, please change the water bottle every day. Are you nuts? These cost $10 a piece. So I just reuse these until they fail. They will eventually fail. I don't know why. The stopper will just fall apart. It'll crumble. This will just stop working. And this water chamber I use until it fails. How long that is, it's sometimes 6 months, sometimes a year. I'm really happy when I can get a year out of the water chamber. And then I will just have to break down and get a new water chamber. But I absolutely love these water chambers. They're spectacular, phenomenal. They work so well. And I'm really happy that I accidentally was introduced to them shortly after getting my ventilator, because it's been a game changer. I don't have to worry about these water chambers. I don't have to worry about filling these water chambers. Just one last thing to worry about. And this spectacular, wonderful. I love it. We're good friends. Thank you so much for joining me. Please remember to like and subscribe down below. Please also remember to comment and share. It really helps my YouTube channel. I hope you have a great day and a wonderful week. Bye-bye.